Okay, this is a video response to Daryl Sloan's recent video called Natural Instinct and the Human Diet. Uh, Daryl, as is always, we, both of us, look in very similar ways at stuff. Maybe a slightly different way as well, but we're still trying to tackle the same questions, the same problems, and the same issues. And I've been talking about diet on my channel a little. Been talking about basic health aspects and all that kind of stuff. And I've been going on basically a bit of a journey over the past few years of improving my understanding of health in terms of diet, nutrition, exercise, and sleep. The four most important things in life, really, as far as keeping your mind going, as well as a fifth one being your perpetual self-education, which is something that we all have to work on. Now, you personally spoke about meat eating as being something that we're not necessarily evolved or developed to do, but I think I've got a different take on evolution, and this was stimulated by watching one of those TED Talks videos a few years ago. And this guy said that there was a period in human evolution when we discovered the most important, transformative invention or discovery of all time, and that's fire, because we're the only animal, and we are animals, who've learned how to control fire. Okay? And with it, we did cooking. Now, when humans started to discover and control the power of fire and use it to do cooking, there was no National Health Service. There wasn't hospitals all over the place. There wasn't, a place where you can go in and you can spend a couple of quid and then, hey presto, you get yourself your aromatherapy massage, you get yourself someone who can give you all this stuff for detox. You can buy, bottles of vitamins and minerals. You get things to kill off parasites and, give you antibiotics. None of those things existed. So people either lived or they died. That's it. So that created there was an evolutionary change. Those who died before having kids, those were on that side of the equation, and then those who survived was those who worked well with the diet, and the diet was the transformation of the food through cooking, which helps to extract some more beneficial aspects to it. Remember, of course, our Neanderthal ancestors had the digestive system of a wolf, and they could literally just like proper caveman stuff, munching straight into raw meat, not a care in the world, okay? The Homo sapiens don't quite have that, alright? The digestive system of the Homo sapien before the cooktivore phase came along, okay, when we stopped being, hunter-gatherer, berry-eating things, and we just became creatures that could and would cook and eat cooked food, changed. So our digestive system has now shrunk because as we go through the process of cooking food, we are making greater bioavailability, all right, of a lot of the nutrition and calories which is actually involved in the food. So we're not natural creatures at all. We still have some connection to our natural heritage of the sort of like vegetarian, oh, there's a berry, I'll eat it kind of thing going on. And because we were, we've interbred, this is what you see before you is part caveman, part Neanderthal. We've interbred with the meat-eating, carnivorous Neanderthal, all right, to create this sort of like hybrid being. We're not a natural creature at all. And these days, if we get sick, we tend to go to a doctor or a medical practitioner who can help to make us better in some way, all right? But the fact we got sick in the first place could be to do with an unbalanced or inappropriate standard Western diet. I went one time to a shopping centre in Watford. And this was like the biggest, walk in and feel the money being sucked out of you kind of like place. It was disgusting. Ugh. And, there was food places everywhere. So all these tired, hungry shoppers all going around the place, and they could all finally go to a place, spend some money and have some food. All right? And all of the food, if you looked objectively at all of the food, all right, there was only a few ingredients. All right? There was wheat-based products. Okay? There were sugar-based products, and there was dairy-based products. And these are the main convenience foods in our society. But we've got these three main powerful things in our society at the moment, which is dominating the human diet. All right? But we also have healthcare. So if we had like all those let's say we had a natural environment in which the only food sources were these three food groups. All right, and there were no doctors, no medical practitioners, no hospitals. People didn't know about antibiotics, no nothing. Okay, people who were not already genetically okay or mutated to be able to work with that diet would die. And then there'll be a new evolutionary strain of the dairy eating and all the rest of it type people. But that is not the case these days. We're all, we go to doctors, we try and get solutions to health problems and so on and so forth. So we therefore have diets which are wrong for us. Because we're in this world whereby, oh, go and buy this, go and buy that. And it's all shit. All right? Yes, evolutionarily, we do have the beast inside us that goes out and hunts an animal and kills it, skins it, guts it, eats it. Okay, that's still part of our genetic heritage. All right. So too is the nice little apple on a tree. Let's go and eat that. Fine. But there's also we discovered fire. We control fire. We can then cook, and therefore we can kill all the parasites in the food. Therefore, our immune systems can change, all right, and we can extract different qualities of energy from the food, and we can have meats, and therefore we can keep up our vitamin B12 levels, which is very important when living. Oops, just kicked something over there. Right, so where does that lead us now? Where it leads us is that there's lots of things that can be wrong with you as a human being. Mentally, physically, emotionally. And a lot of them can be influenced by the physical. And that does mean the stuff you put into your body. Principally. And also the stuff you expel from the body. And I'll probably do videos about that another time because that's a little bit of an icky subject, okay? So the things which the body is right for is, again, yes, mainly a plant-based diet, but not completely, in my opinion. Some meat is actually quite good for you because it gives you the B12, it gives you protein, it gives you all kinds of other things, special, good fats for the body. Remember, we came from that Neanderthal heritage as well as the, the other genetic heritages which are all part of us. There was loads of different types of human-type creatures who eventually evolved or interbred into what we are today. But when you go to the supermarket, what is it you buy? I mean, people who buy like frozen French fries, frozen chips, oven chips. They just slice potatoes with fat. That's all. You might as well buy your own potatoes and do things with them with less fat. And we've all got all these chemicals thrown into the food as well. Preservatives are wonderful. They preserve food, but they only preserve food through killing off bacteria. And your digestive system, which has a lot of bacteria in it, which means that a hell of a lot of your body weight is made up by, shit bacteria in your digestive system, all the bacteria that's there working away to do things. And if you kill that off, your body cannot extract the nutrition from food. So trying to, as far as possible, move away from additives, in my opinion, is probably a good thing because you want to be as well nourished as is humanly possible, as well as having like diets which will not be allergenic. We have an allergy-based diet at the moment. That's why everyone has an issue with wheat and gluten and sugar and dairy, okay? Because that's what we can get our hands on with great ease. I was reading a book a while ago called Raw Vegan Controversies. It was the story of this chap who wanted to go on a total personal journey, dedicate his entire life to it, okay, to try and live the perfect, healthy, raw vegan lifestyle. And he came across health problems and all sorts. And that was because of his raw vegan lifestyle, okay, because of being a raw vegan. But after a while, he still recommended a well-researched, okay, not just go out, eat some celery, that's it, I've eaten. Okay. A well-researched raw vegan diet because it was an exclusion diet. Okay, it excluded, hamburgers and bread and butter and milk and horrid stuff, and still provided like lots of the vitamins and minerals and he believed enzymes that the body requires. Now, great, okay, fine, but Why don't you have a combination? In my opinion, okay, a combination between a principally vegetable-based diet, okay, with some fruits, but not much, because fruit is sugar. Lots of raw vegans live off fruit. Having those bananas is a good thing, but those bananas that you're having whenever you're feeling a bit low in your energy is giving you a sugar injection, which can therefore go straight to your pancreas. I think it's your pancreas, and that can then provide you with a insulin spike, which can lead to diabetes. Right, there's a video of one particular well-known YouTube user who is associated with bananas and diets, and I'm not going to mention who that is, who goes for a piss 3 times every single night, and that could be because of misfunction of the internal organs due to insulin spikes and diabetes, because she's mainly living a fruit-based lifestyle purely for the purposes of looking thin and looking and all that kind of stuff. She's messing herself up because she's not eating right, okay? So fruit is good. I've had fruit today. I've had a couple of oranges, I've had a couple of apples, and I've had a handful of dates. Not as my main meal, but as a treat. Some people treat themselves with a Mars bar. I treat myself to fruit. To the most part, I get out my steamer, I fill it full of chopped vegetables. I know the steaming action will break through the cellulose to help reach the bioavailable stuff inside, okay? And then, of course, I'll eat that. And yes, I have potatoes, because you have to have some slow release or low GI carbohydrates so that you can get the energy, but released over a period of time. Potatoes are okay for that. I'd say they're not perfect, but they're okay for that. Steaming is good. Stir fry, yeah, that's okay, but you're also using oils and fats, and you've got to think about which oils you're using. And there's some like nut oils which are good, and some forms of olive oil are good, but you've also got to find ways of using that sparingly. Otherwise, your body can get a bit too much of it, and you're putting fat straight into the sewer pipe of the body, which won't necessarily help. Okay. Another thing to look into is smoothies. Well, sorry, you mentioned smoothies. I would say juicing, because you can juice some vegetables, not all of them. Don't ever juice a potato and drink it, whatever you do. Okay. There are some vegetables which you can juice, and you can add that to apple juice, because apple juice is the only fruit juice you can use to go with vegetables because of the chemicals in the fruit. So you can have some green vegetables, crush them up in your juicer with a couple of apples and a carrot maybe, and then that will be part and parcel of your vegetable intake. If you take juices, you're accessing all of the nutrition of the fruit and vegetable, but none of the fiber. So you can't rely upon juicing. So people go on juiced fasts. I'm not too sure how good that is all the time. Those better be very temporary things. And accessing quite so much healthy stuff, which helps to remove toxins, which helps to give energy and vitality and health to your organs, is absolutely brilliant. But even if you're taking a juice, you still have to chew it, namely do that kind of like mastication action and get all your saliva involved with it, because that helps the body to break it down. You can't just take carrot juice and swallow it back, because if you do that, it's too much of a strain on your digestive system. It can even feel uncomfortable. So you sit there, take time over it, you chew it like a meal, because that's what it is. Okay, it's a meal type food which you would normally have cooked, all right, or raw, and you are then taking the goodness in, but your body needs to have the equipment to break it down. When you spoke about getting more like gassy as a result of having more vegetables, yeah, but also having more vegetables is allowing you through a prebiotic effect to have more good bacteria in your guts. So that's a good thing, but you may also need to have like activated charcoal capsules to try and keep down the gassiness and keep down the stench of your farts. And also think about the herbs and spices which you're putting into the body. Okay? Because they can help to ease and improve your digestive system. They can help to reduce the populations of bad things and possibly encourage the populations of good things. So eating and drinking for prebiotics and also having a anti-pathogen effect, like using garlic once every day or two. Okay, or sorry, either every day or take a bit of a break if your gut's rather sensitive to it. I had garlic today with my lunch. 1 clove, uncooked, chopped up real fine, because as you chop it, you're exposing it to the air. That helps to produce some of the good chemicals. With cucumber and a dairy-free margarine, just a little on sweet potato with cucumber, and also broccoli. Broccoli, I have to say, it's one of those godlike foods. Broccoli is so... It's not really a fucking vegetable. It's a herb, in my opinion. It's got so much in it. Right? Broccoli is... If you have broccoli every single day, cooked but not overcooked broccoli, you will feel, mentally speaking, superior than when you don't have broccoli. Okay? This video is turning into a bit more of a ramble than I hoped it would. I really hope to have a really coherent argument, but I don't think I have that. I just got information about health and diets. Okay. Also, when you're playing with your diet, Daryl, look at your weight. Not your waistline, but look at your weight. Okay, once a week maybe, weigh yourself, see if you've gone up in weight, see if you've gone down, and also make sure that you look at the quantity of fat on your flesh and on your bones. As part of my diet at the moment, because I don't have much fat on my body, okay, I'm typically underweight, okay, I'm going through like a digestive cleanse as well to help to remove other things that could be blocking my body's ability to absorb nutrients, fats, and all the other good stuff, okay, to help build me up. What you can do for your calorie intake, if you're struggling with your calories, which you obviously are if you're munching on bananas all day, is to look into nut milks, making your own nut milks. Okay, that's quite important. Sprouting, which is another high energy way of doing things and also highly nutritious as well, and avocados, which is another high fat food, but also one that contains an awful lot which can help to boost your energy levels and keep you going through the day. I like porridge, oatmeal porridge. Not that, and this I've got to be quite clear about. I feel better if I cook up a high quality oatmeal in the mornings. If I buy supermarket cheap shit and I have that, I feel worse. Now this could be an issue to do with gluten in the processing. This could be to do with the processing itself leaching out the selenium, magnesium, and all the other good stuff which is in oatmeal. But it provides a lot of your energy. Okay, it can keep you going. It's a low glycemic index because it releases the energy steadily throughout the day, and can become a foundation point on your energy levels and maintenance of them. And there's also protein in oatmeal as well, which is good for the muscles and building up the fibers. Okay. I really didn't realize how much I knew about this subject and how much there is to explain and express, and how important I think it is, because mental well-being, that means your emotions, your thoughts, your understanding of the world, and having a clear and balanced interpretation of life, is affected very severely, in my experience, on the basis of what you put in your body. And I don't think that there's ever, oh, I'm doing this, therefore I'm healthy. There's no sort of like fixed path which means you are healthy under these circumstances, and different people have different health problems innately which need to be worked with. Okay, and sometimes you may have a bit too much of one thing, not quite enough of another thing, and so on and so forth. And these things can also affect how you steer yourself forward. If you were to see the process of becoming healthier in terms of diet as being more of a journey to explore and something to be seen as being a hobby, all right, it's not an obsession. Oh, I have to be obsessed with broccoli. It's the most important thing. No, I love broccoli. I think it's really important, but I'm not going to make like a I'm not going to make it like a gold idol of it, and candles and incense. Fuck that. All right, broccoli's fucking broccoli, and it's hybridized like everything else. There's no natural foods in the world anymore. Everything has been hybridized to the point whereby it's not in its natural state. That might cause problems in our future, but as long as we can try and progress closer to what's good, that's important. I mean, going towards vegetarianism is wonderful, and I wish you all the best of luck with it. But also, do think about the calories you're taking, and do research into calorie deficit and trying to avoid a calorie deficit, because otherwise you'll end up like all these highly anorexic, failed raw vegans who are still carrying on their raw vegan diet, and they're just munching all the time. They're like a cow in a field who's trying to use all four stomachs and just going at the grass all the time to try and keep enough calories going in to keep the animal going, but forgetting that a human being does not have the digestive system of a cow. We don't have four stomachs, all right? We have a cooktivore digestive system, whereby some raw, some cooked, teeny bit of meats, okay, as well as nuts, nut milks, avocados, and the rest of it, appears to be a good balance. Remove as far as you can. I mean, no one's going to do it perfectly, and I certainly don't do it perfectly either. Things like pesticides and other additives. Try and get as pure if you can. I don't buy organic because I can't afford to buy organic at this stage of my life, but it's something that I'm of the opinion, and this is just all my opinion, okay, all my opinion, all right, that we need to do. And our ability to be happy, healthy, to do without, or to reduce the risk of illness, is part and parcel of diet, okay? I mean, I've been talking a lot about this end. I haven't been talking a lot about the other end, which is something else that really needs attention. And I'm trying to build a coherent argument about the lower digestive system, which is the bit we all want to try and avoid. In fact, all the stuff which is inside, and there's also like pulsy and slimy and blah, 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 blah. We all want to try and avoid talking about that because it's disgusting. We want to look at like the radiant, healthy skinned person, don't we? Because we're all humans, we're wankers, all right? The radiant, healthy skinned person, rather than all the billions of microorganisms and creepy crawlies and things with legs and slime and all the rest of that stuff, and all the half-digested, chewed-up shit and food and bile and slime and fucking scientific experiment which is happening inside your body every single second of every single day just to keep yourself alive and breathing. But it's all that squiggly, slimy, sick, disgusting stuff that we got to come to understand as well. All right, being healthy is a hobby. Trying to be healthy is a hobby. Becoming healthier is a hobby. Trying to live in accordance with balance is a hobby. And keeping on top of your game about all these things so you can have health of mind and body, I believe to be important. And I hope that some of my rambles here make some sense to someone out there. Okay? Peace out. Keep cool. And I'll speak to you again soon.